everyone, welcome to today's video. This is the first long video of English with Harry, and we're going to be focusing today on the present simple. Okay, so first off, we're going to focus on how do we use the present simple. Well, we have like the permanent usage. You might have she works at a store, or I live in the UK. Those are things that are present and they could be permanent. He feasibly might work at a fishery forever. She might work at a store forever. I might live in the UK forever. It might not be true, I might move somewhere else in the future, but it's permanent. And then obviously we have routines as another usage. So generally I wake up at 7. That's, still the same tense, it's still present simple. I wake up at 7, or I go to sleep at 11. It's routine. Then you have facts. So the sun sets in the west. You have the sun sets in the west. It rises in the east, it sets in the west. Those are facts and they fall under present simple. Then you have schedules. So class starts at 10. Work starts at 10. We watch movies at 7. And you're implying that you watch movies at 7 every day. It's your schedule. And that could also fall under routine. And then frequency could be your final one. So the final one is frequency. We always drive to work. We always eat breakfast at 7. And again, that's fallen under routine and schedule, but it's also frequency. It's how frequent you're doing it. So that's roughly what present simple is. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the different conjugations which you would use. So you might have I eat, you eat, we eat, then they eat. So if you notice, it ends with the solid T at the end. But then we have he works, she works, it works. And the issue there is that you need to remember that if it's I, you, we, or they, it does not have an S at the end. But if it's he, she, or it has an S on the end. It's a little bit easier to remember than if you're doing a Romance language, like Spanish or Portuguese or French, where the conjugation is different depending on each individual person being referred to. But with English, it's I work, you work, we work, they work, for example. But then he works, she works, it works. Or I drive, you drive, we drive, they drive. But then he drives, she drives, it drives, whatever it might be. When I was originally doing my training to teach English, one of the tutors had a little Superman symbol that they would hold up with an S if you're trying to remember he, she, or it, because a lot of students would just use the I, you, we, they endings instead of the he, she, it endings. So they might say he worked at the store, she worked at the store, it walked down the street, and then they'd hold up the little S. It works, he works, she works, it plays, he plays, she plays. Always remember the S. Okay, that's all for today's video. It was a really quick rundown of the present simple. If you would like to see more, please leave a like. And if you want to see any specific tenses in the future, feel free to comment that below. Thank you.